All right, boys, as practice was canceled today at the very last minute, thanks to a late notification. Today, I'm just going to try to run us through a little bit of a tactical talk for the weekend and get some of the things that we want to work on covered. So you can see here, we're red. This is just our standard setup. 2 strikers up top, 2 central midfielders, 2 central backs, and then we've got an outside wing back on either side and 2 outside central midfielders. You can see here, I've got the midfielders shifted up into layers in between our defensive backs and our midfield backs, and this is what we call a curve. And this is what we're going to try to work with this weekend, fellas. So this is our curve, and generally we come up against a 4-4-2 themselves opposite us, and that's often just flat. This is all stuff we've talked about, so just things you want to be aware of for the weekend. Okay, so we're going to try a bit of an overload play at a kickoff. This week we get the chance, whether it's first or second half, to kick off. And the way we got this set up is my 2 central midfielders, say it's Owen, kicking back to Niall. I want both our strikers lined up way out on the right, and one of our outside midfielders lined up as well. And then we want our other outside midfielder on the left lined up right up against the sideline. We want the defense pushed way up high. And what's going to happen here, guys, ideally, is as soon as the ball's kicked back to Niall, we want Niall to kick it long and far, as hard as we can, down to that right side corner. And everybody, as soon as that ball goes back, we're flooding. Be careful not to go offside. The right side with the left, flooding down to the inside. Our 2 midfielders, central midfielders, will then spread, come to field the middle of the gap field, and we're going to try to do a hard press up top immediately to start the game, with the backs pressing up high to try to get some containment in the offensive zone. So that one's pretty easy, guys. We get the 2 strikers lined up wide right, our speeds out there. We get one of our wings from the midfield out on that side, 2 central midfield, 1 passing back to the other to immediately kick long to the right-hand side of the field. Our other outside midfielder is going to run long against the sideline outside, target the outside of the 18-yard box. Defense presses up. Zeph can follow, come up high, and we're going to try to press and control in their end to start the game. Okay, hopefully you guys can follow this. So I like to play a shift, or Paul and I like to play a shift, and now we want to activate our defense a little bit more this week. So hypothetically, this is going to look different every time, but say we've got the ball down on the right-hand side here of the pitch. We've got our striker with the ball. We've got our outside midfielder on the right there. We've got our 2 central midfielders. We've got our outside left midfielder over here. And we've got our other striker up top. We want our 2 central outside wing back on the right to push up into the play. See, here's the center line that pushed way up into the play. We want to create pressure in this part. We want our central back in the middle to come up a little bit higher to create pressure. And then these 2 backs need to do some coverage. We need to come over. We need to scan what's over in this part of the field. We need to come over and make sure that we've got coverage for these guys so they can press up and we can try to overload their defense by having more numbers. And remember to looking for triangles to create some passing patterns from that point. Same, if the ball swaps over to the other side, these guys need to come back and shift, back and shift. And then these guys need to press and press to create an overload on that side. And as these defenders come back, they've got to shift over to mid-pitch so they can scan east and west on the field. But we really want to get our defense more involved in the attack, but we don't want to compromise too much space. So as long as we've always got 2 guys centrally sitting in the middle at the back, and that's just awareness of a double shift. So either the right and left back moving over and the 2 central backs shifting based on where the ball is. Obviously, if the ball's in the middle of the pitch here, we're going to want our 2 central backs to push up and offer support to the midfield. These 2 outside wing backs would then slightly slide into the middle, listening to Paul or I for instructions to then cover the whole pitch. A lineup like this, guys, takes some effort, takes some awareness, takes some sprinting. You have to be scanning. Your heads need to be on a swivel. But this gives us a chance to overload on attack. Okay, guys, decision-making when we've got the ball is another tough one because the game's happening quite quickly. But hypothetically, if the striker here, say the front right striker has the ball, there's some things of awareness we have to go, what lanes does he have to look at? So one of the things, if a striker's in here and he's under a little bit of pressure, the midfield wing has to make a run down the sidelines and draw some of the defense over. The two central midfielders need to square up, get behind for support or diagonal for support. So we've got a passing lane. The other option that's in there is that other striker has to wait for a little ball to be slid through, little touch, so we can run onto it, right? This outside wing has this whole area to cover over in here. In case we can get the ball down, we're obviously looking to collapse off of a cross or have that midfield come over to the top of the 18 to get a pass back and a shot, and that's over in this area here as well. Getting the ball down low to a shot, and whether it's the right or left, we need to have that. We need to make sure that our outside midfielders support the strikers going wide on the wing, and both times, guys, we're either trying to cross into the box or get a pass back to the 18, not into traffic. If you're stuck under pressure, you get it down to the side, you've got guys you can't beat, turn your back, protect the ball, and wait till you get support above, 100%. Or try to deflect the ball out for a corner kick off the marking man. Pretty simple strategy, guys, but we definitely want to be getting that wing down low, overlapping run, give and go. Then that man that overlaps can come down into the slot here. We look for a pass there. I know it's a lot of doodling. Hopefully you guys can follow this. And then in this case here as well, this is where we're going to get our defensive players to slide up to support the play. And if it comes back to the defensive players, into the box, guys. We've got a lot of big boots. We're trying to get it into the box. This is our high chance area. Okay, guys, this one's a little bit more static. This is pace and style of play. So, ball somewhere in midfield here. We'll say that, one of our central mids has it right here. And everyone's pretty well covered. And, this is where we lose the ball a lot and the game gets quite sloppy. And this is what I really want to start to think about is, we are trying to attack, but sometimes you have to reset your attack. So don't be afraid. If we've got the ball in here and you've got a lane and everyone's covered, let's put it back. All right. And you guys at the back, be patient. Have time, look around, and then create a shift. You've got a big boot at the back sometimes. Let's try to go from east to west across the pitch and then try to penetrate through the opposite side. Or, you're going to draw people on that pass. This man's going to come back down to cover. This guy might come across. You've got the open man here. Turn, which then opens someone in the middle. We pass. 1, 2, 3 touch passing plays, guys, or that big shift to the opposite side of the field. Do a quick scan. See where the opposition is, so how they're playing. Are they playing deep? Are they playing tight? Sometimes this boot here can come across, but we want to make sure we get under it into the air. So we're going over passing lanes rather than going through. But that pass back, we're not doing enough. The striking man here, always trying to beat a man, we often lose the ball. Option there sometimes, back to that central mid, go, and then we've got a through ball coming through, right? That give and go works so well. Or back, shot, and strikers collapsing, guys. But we need to play back. We need to play patient. We need to communicate. All these plays I'm talking about, a lot of chatter on the pitch. If the plays are over on the left side of the pitch, you players on the left, from front to back, should all be talking to one another. We should be communicating. You should be pointing where you want the ball, saying to feet if you want it, pointing down the line. We need to remember, whatever we're doing and it's happening with the ball, what you're doing away from the ball is equally important. If this man has the ball here, these guys can be calling back. This player can be coming in, communicating. This player can be cutting here because we've got options. Being static and not moving is what creates issues for us sometimes. And remember, if the play's on the left, all those players on the left are moving. You guys over on the right, you're paying attention, you're scanning, you're looking for options, you're looking for opportunities. At the same time, you're breathing, you're resting, you're catching your wind, because quite quickly, that play can shift to the opposite side. Okay, this one's for the strikers and pretty much the wings. When the play is deep or in the bottom third of the attacking zone that we're going into, so the ball's a little red bit back here, and this is the defensive line of the opposition, is you strikers, as soon as you see them on the ball, you have to press. All right, we got to shift, press, and collapse passing lanes. Pressure on the defensive man early. So whether it's coming off of a goal kick or they've got possession of the ball, I want you to press right away. All right, the midfield line needs to cover their midfield line and getting to any passing lanes you see where they might be playing it. So bodies in front of the man between the ball and the defensive man, right? So we got to fill lanes. But strikers, it's your job to press. If that ball gets passed over, we swap. We then look at this lane here. If the ball comes over again, we press. We press, right? Wherever that ball goes, we press. Everyone in that midfield then has to adjust, looking at filling passing lanes, all right? Getting in between your man and the ball where they could possibly pass, trying to go for a steal. Everything in this zone for midfield and attacking players, if we don't have the ball, we're pressing and we're trying to get it back as hard as we can. We're also trying to force the play up to the outside, to the right or the left, all right? We get stuck in the middle of the field. These are the opportunity areas. This is where also the play gets sloppy, right? We might get some steals in here. We also might lose some balls in here. Press them to the outside, split the field in half, all right? And one half, press the play, and we can begin to shift over a little bit. When that's happening, if the ball's down in this area here, we press up a little bit on defense, we shift over, and we try to force them to create small passing lanes and go in for that steal. So that's our press here. As strikers, that's on you guys. If they get that ball, as soon as they get it, press. Put pressure on them. Midfield, be aware. All right, guys, I've split the field into 3 different zones, all right? 1, 2, and 3. 3 being the attacking end. So zone number 1 is our defensive zone. And this is where we need to get into the mindset of not only protect the ball, but building out from the back. So you need to be intelligent and make intelligent plays here. In years past, Paul and I have just been telling you to kick it out of bounds. But now if you're hearing you've got time, take that time to turn, look to possess and make a play. Now generally want to pass that ball up the wing and to the outside, or possibly to the middle and then to the outside. But we want to protect the ball and be as defensively minded as possible in this first zone, number 1. And this goes out to about 30, 35 yards out. So double the length of the 18-yard box. And the responsibility here sits with the defensive line and the 2 central midfielders come into play back here and the wings a little bit, central wings. You strikers, this doesn't really affect you so much in this area. All right. The second part of the field is kind of like Switzerland's. It's a bit neutral. And we really want to get control of the ball in here and connect. This is where we begin our attacking phase, our defensive phase as we're moving to the defensive end. But in here, this is where creativity begins. How are we going to outlet and get the ball into an attacking position? This is the part of the field, guys, where those small passing lanes, scanning and vision is so important. Those little passes in here to big long balls, this is where it all gets created a little bit. This is where all the mistakes tend to happen as well. So I want you thinking when you're in this middle part of the field, we want to control the ball. Want to be patient on the ball, but we want to, start to create our chances from this part. Number 3 is attack. And attack's really simple. Let's get creative and let's try to finish. Your strength area in finishing is anywhere within the 2 goalposts or diagonal shots with collapses coming in. But this area here, guys, utilize all the space that we have. Get the manpower in there, but you want to be thinking about creativity and finish in that area. Creativity is as a team, it's as an individual sometimes. Everything in the defensive end and that central midfield becomes team. Up top here sometimes, definitely a little bit individual. However, an individual doing a lot of work, an assist is just as good for glory as the goal. You can draw a lot of players by doing certain moves and then pass to space, and we should have someone there to get that shot off, hopefully get a goal. So that's it, guys. Defensive, the Switzerland phase, control and connect, defend, protect at the back, attack, get creative, let's finish. Okay, guys, playing out from the back off of a goal kick as well. I haven't put any defense of team members in here, being the opposition. But Sazev's got a goal kick, and we're over to Christian. Christian, kick it out to Levi or Justin real quick. Central midfield. Niall, Owen, whoever might be in there. You guys got to be prepared here or my outside wing. So, well, whoever's going to be outside wing. Be ready for a quick pass, and then we outlet quick. This is 1, 2, 3 passes, and we should be out of the zone sometimes. A quick attack, guys. So if you see that the defense on the other team's lacking or not doing stuff, Zeph, you got to move quickly. Christian, Chester, whoever it is, outlet into the middle or up the wing, and we outlet again, and we try to move this quickly. Either one of you two, or if it's on the opposite side, these two, if you get the ball, you've got clearance, boot it long, and let's get into the attacking end. The quicker we can get onto the attack, great. But if it's not working like that, where you're not getting the lanes, be patient. But that's your outlet from the back, guys, is if it's on the opposite side, defender there, we want to hit it wide. Remember, we want to get out wide to the wing. You got to get right to the sidelines with your hips open. So you're facing the play. You can look up and down the field, and your field of vision is north and south, and then to the inside of the field, so you can see what all your options are. So that's how we're going to outlet the zone, guys. I hope it makes sense for you. All right, boys, I hope you all watched that, or some of you did anyways. But all this that I'm talking about, this all has to do with individual effort and teamwork, all combining together as one to create, one specific strategy and movement that we're ever adapting to and for on the field. Paul and I and the parents, we can only watch it. You guys have to deliver it as best you can. Communication is such a big one. Talking, the ability to talk. Don't be afraid to be the loudest guy on the field. Be the loudest guy on the field. For the weekend, guys, so let's come in with some of these strategies. Talk on the field. Think, you guys are a talented football team. There is so much skill on that field this year. You guys are coming to practice ready to work. No one's fooling around. We've got some injured players that are coming back. We've added some great players this year. You guys have a real good chance. Every game we've played this year, you guys have literally deserved to win. The games we have lost have been 1-goal games. The one game we won, 1-goal game, and the other one was a complete blowout. The offensive chances are going to come, and we'll score some goals. Defense is strong, but defensive lapses are going to happen. We're going to let some goals in. We rise above all that, guys. We work as a team this year. Be a team this year. Let's come prepared to play. Let's have a good weekend. Let's get the win this weekend. And let's really begin to gel. I can see it happening. We are gelling. Paul and I are exceptionally happy with how you guys are coming to practice ready to work. You're arriving early. You're getting the balls out. There's no jerking around happening. It's a real good thing to see. You guys are not boys anymore. You're young men. And, you're holding yourselves accountable on the field. I appreciate that. So let's get after it this weekend. If you have questions about this, hit me up on Team Reach. Other than that, we'll see you on Saturday, 45 minutes to an hour before the game. We'll update on that tomorrow afternoon. Have a good evening, guys. Bye.